Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. 888-900-3393. Welcome to it. Another big day. All lined up by President Trump. Today's the day the JFK files will be released. Or is it? He said, yesterday he said, we're going to release them tomorrow. Is he going to release them, or is that one of those tomorrow never comes tricks? Is that what that is? We get to today, and somebody asks him, why haven't you released the JFK files yet? And he says, well, I told you that I'd release them tomorrow. We're still going to release them tomorrow.
You want to hear the clip here?
Sure.
Let's see what he had to say. Clip 1.
It's a good
we
clip.
are tomorrow announcing and giving all of the Kennedy files. So people have been waiting for decades for this.
Yeah.
And I've instructed my people that are responsible, lots of different people, put together by Tulsi Gabbard. And that's going to be released tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Never said Tuesday. He kept saying tomorrow.
I see.
So now when we get to tomorrow, will he again say, yeah, I said I'm going to release them tomorrow. They're coming tomorrow.
I mean, Garth
How many
Brooks-
times do I have to tell you? Tomorrow.
Garth Brooks said, if tomorrow never comes.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. All right. So today these files are going to be released. He said he instructed people not to redact. So
it better not end up like this.
yeah, I know.
See this right here? This is the binders. I'm sure they have plenty of these.
And then
They got Sharpies. This is the Epstein files. So, it's got to be. I mean, it's going to be really bad if it's redacted stuff, Sharpies, all sorts of nonsense, stuff we already know.
or it doesn't come out at all. That'd be pretty tough to pull off if they don't release it at all today.
Well, Chris,
because
you said 11
been
a.m.
promised.
Central, right? Noon Eastern?
Yes,
today?
11 Central. Yep.
Okay.
11 Central.
All right.
I'm psyched. Today could be the day.
Today could be the day, Pat.
He did say, though, we got a tremendous amount of paper. You got a lot of reading. That's okay. We'll read them. I don't believe we're going to redact anything. I said don't redact. You can't redact. Okay. So the instructions seem pretty clear.
Yeah.
Happens today, and it will not be redacted.
Okay. And at least it's Tulsi and not Pam Bondi in charge.
Yeah. Interesting. Gabbard, for her part, said, I've instructed my people that are responsible. Lots of different people put together. Oh, okay. That's the Trump statement. Put together by Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi, I don't think, has said anything yet. Has she? Has she spoken about this? So 80,000 pages. That is a lot of reading. I mean, it's hard to imagine what all could be there to take up 80,000 pages. Is that like somebody wrote a book report and there's only one line on each page, maybe? That kind of thing?
But you are not expecting much from today.
I'm not. I've been burned. We all have. So
100%.
many times. So many times. Now, he seems really resolute about this. And he has admitted that he did this the first time around in his first term. But people convinced him not to finish it. And so
So, hang on a second.
it's been pretty forthcoming with that.
Tulsi, she's meeting, I see on her DNI feed, she's meeting with a bunch of Indian leaders. Is she in India right now? Because I feel like you'd want to be closer to home
For the release, yeah.
for the release. If the President of the United States just attached your name to one of the biggest reveals in American history.
Pretty big day, yeah.
And she's overseas. I don't know that
Is she? Are you sure that it...
yeah, she's sitting. Well, let's see. I mean, I guess Indian media could be over here. Yeah.
She is there? Huh.
Yeah, because there's like this
All right.
Indian like logo thing behind her in one of these shots. Which, okay.
If she's standing in front of the Taj Mahal, it's either Photoshop or she's actually in India.
And if you scroll back in her timeline, I mean, here she is shaking hands with the troops, Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Some of the Navy guys there.
So she stopped along her way for a few things? Cool.
So, again, your name is attached
that's
to
weird.
one of the biggest conspiracy reveals in American history.
Maybe she doesn't want to be around for the fallout.
That's not a good
Maybe there's good reason for her to be halfway around the world. Wow. I don't know, but this could be really exciting. And I do trust Trump, so I'm going to take him at his word. It's coming today.
It was the CIA. All right, we're done here.
It could be that simple. I don't know. Alan Dulles was pissed at JFK. He'd been relieved of his duties. Apparently JFK was messing with the intelligence community. That did not sit well with them. So I don't know. Could that be it? The Soviets didn't like him either. The Cubans certainly didn't like him. The mob didn't like him. And Lee Harvey Oswald probably didn't think much of him. So I don't know. But hopefully we will find out much more beginning today. Might take a minute to go over the 80,000 pages, but it's going to be worth it.
Is it? So hold on. We mentioned the website. They already had it set up, and it was just waiting. And it was like the JFK archives and stuff. So I'm going to tweet that out so that you have that at your disposal later.
Did this website cost $2 billion to build? Like
goodness.
the Obamacare website?
My goodness.
I hope we got a discount on that. Maybe we can do it for $1 billion this time.
Just a bit. Yeah, here it is.
Maybe we can cut that number in half. I don't know.
It's and I'll tweet this out. archives.gov/research/JFK.
Okay, so that's where you can find it at 11, supposedly?
That's my understanding.
All right.
So I'm going to go there and do Control F CIA will be the first order of business for me.
Okay. So we will, I'm sure whoever's on, I guess Steve will be on. Steve Deace will be on at that time. I'm sure he's going to be on top of this. We'll be here to talk about it again tomorrow, but that's pretty exciting. I'm tingly just thinking of it.
I'm going to be in a building where I can't get internet at that time today.
Are you?
I am not happy about this. I'm going to change this doctor's appointment. Sorry, can't be there.
You can't get coverage from your doctor's office?
It's madness, man. Their in-house Wi-Fi never works.
That sucks.
I'm just realizing this right now, where I will be when these are released, and I'm not happy about this.
So meanwhile, the left is losing their minds over illegal alien gang member criminals being deported out of this country. There's a 1798 law that allows the president to do this.
Good.
I mean, okay. It's a law, right?
Right.
If it's a law, it's a law.
Yeah, this is the alien and sedition laws. And the sedition one, I never
that was
liked.
bad.
Yeah, John Adams screwed up on that one.
That was greatly abused in 1800. So,
but the alien one,
yeah.
All right, let's go.
Here was border czar Tom Homan yesterday.
You say to those who claim you're using a 200-year-old law to circumvent due process?
An old law? Not as old as the Constitution. We still pay attention to that, don't we?
Boom!
Nice! Mic drop. I love this man. I love him.
Well, I mean, I do too. But the next couple clips we have, I think Stephen Miller is my favorite Trump administration official.
Stephen Miller is... How do you choose your favorite? It's like picking your favorite child.
I'm telling you.
They are all so good.
I'm telling you.
I love Stephen Miller, too. He just does not take any crap from anybody.
Nope.
So he paid CNN a visit. That's got to be fun.
Yeah.
And relief.
I don't speak for the White House. You are here to speak
I will
for
do.
You're here to speak for the White House.
I
just want you to answer that one simple question.
I am. Ready? Here we go. Under a proper reading of the Constitution, district court judges provide relief to individual plaintiffs seeking relief. District court judges do not have the authority, as a general matter, to enjoin the functioning of the executive branch. But their authority is at its lowest point when the president is exercising his powers as commander-in-chief. And I asked you a question, you never answered it. Can a judge enjoin troop movements overseas? Can a district court judge enjoin troop movements overseas?
Stephen,
yes or no?
I am not going to get into the
just say no, and then you'll know that I'm right.
This is a
just
separate
say no,
question,
and you'll know that I'm right.
Okay, we're not talking about other other
Because
troops
the
overseas.
president
I need to ask you about
is
something
not.
else.
The
that's
president
important.
issued a proclamation delineating in detail how the Venezuelan regime sent this gang, this terrorist organization, to our shores. And by the way, and I love being here, but all the outrage that we are seeing from the Democrat Party and from the corporate media, none of that outrage was expressed when little Jocelyn Nungare was tortured and beaten to death. None of that outrage was expressed when our nation was flooded by illegal aliens.
I have just been simply trying to get a simple answer to a simple question. No outrage necessary about whether or not the White House is ahead of the court.
But I am.
But I need to ask you one more question. I'm going to have to let you go.
Democrats defending Tren Agua instead of celebrating President Trump expelling these terrorists from our midst. And I'm glad for the opportunity to explain how the separation of powers does work. If the president has to litigate every national security action with 700 district court judges, that we don't have a functioning democracy.
Let me ask you one other question.
Brilliant. Just so good. It's so good.
He is. If you're a CNN anchor, my advice is stay away from Stephen Miller. You can't win. Yeah. You're not going to win it with him. He's not going to take your BS.
The host sits down and goes and looks at the rundown sheet and goes,
"Yeah, nope.
All right, who booked Stephen Miller again?
Call him and tell him I'm sick. We can't do the interview."
Now, I enjoyed that clip very much, but the next one,
even better from him,
in my opinion.
Okay. This is during a Fox appearance.
This is a grand slam.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let me play this first from somebody who I know is not a favorite of President Trump. This is Andrew Weissman, who's a former top Mueller prosecutor. Of course, it's not a huge surprise that he didn't like this operation. He doesn't think it's legal under the act that you just mentioned, Stephen. Watch.
We're not at war with Venezuela. We're not at war with the gang that is the subject of the executive order. There is no invasion that is going on. And you also have to show that the people you're removing are actually part of that gang, even if there were an invasion or a war. And this statute may, in fact, be very unconstitutional.
So the judge has to be convinced that these individuals aren't real. I mean, it's a huge group, and nobody's going to miss any of these people, but they're quantifiable. So can you prove that these individuals were linked with Tren de Agua and that Tren de Agua is part of a Maduro operation, Stephen?
So first of all, Andrew Weissman is an absolute moron. He is a moron, and he's a fool, and he's a degenerate. Andrew Weissman has devoted his career to putting innocent Americans in jail, taking away their civil liberties. He was involved in the Mueller coup against a democratically elected President Donald J. Trump. Weissman should never be on TV anywhere. He should hang his head in eternal shame for what he's done to this country. And now he's up there shilling for people who rape and murder Americans. That's who Andrew Weissman is. I met the mother of Jocelyn Nungare, Alexis Nungare, who President Trump honored at the State of the Union, named a national wildlife refuge after her daughter. Tren de Agua terrorists took that 12-year-old angel and they tortured her to death. They sexually assaulted her. They stripped her and they dumped her body in a river. That's who President Trump has deported from this country. Behind every single one of those terrorists was another future rape victim, another future sex trafficking victim, another future murder victim. And most importantly, every one of those people was here illegally. They have no right to be in this country for 1 second longer. They are illegal aliens, they are foreign terrorists, they are alien enemies. And the law at the heart of this issue was signed in the founding generation of this country. The same generation that wrote our Constitution. People say, it's an 18th century law. You know what else is an 18th century law? The Constitution of the United States. The Bill of Rights of the United States. The founding generation gave us this law, gave President Trump this law to repel this invasion from our country.
I mean,
and it was all detailed in the proclamation how this gang was sent here by a foreign government and President Trump is sending them out of this country.
Wow.
How much do you love Stephen Miller?
A lot. Enough to marry him.
Whoa.
However, I'm already married, so I would be breaking the law if I married. So if that's the question on your mind right now,
okay,
if you love him so much, why don't you marry him? It's because it'd be illegal for me to do that. Illegal.
That's the only reason.
It's the only reason. The only thing standing between he and I. and the rest of our lives together. Wow. So,
all right. Well,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
That was so good.
That's brilliant.
He's so articulate and just doesn't stop. Once he gets wound up,
man,
you better stand. Just Dana, stand to the side. Let the man speak.
No kidding.
And I was looking at the timestamps, if I remember correctly, on those videos. He did the CNN one, and then just a minute later was over doing the Fox hit. I mean, he was just there. Let's go. Who wants to fight?
Just as fired up on both of them.
Yes.
Great stuff.
Love him.
Wow. All right, let me tell you about the Jace case. It's emergency preparedness. It's also convenience preparedness. Well, we live in a world that's constantly changing. A lot of times we don't see what's coming. But one thing that we do know is coming is that things will change. Stuff will happen, and you want to be prepared for whatever eventuality. That's where the Jace case comes in. You just go online at jace.com, and you fill out a simple form. They just want to make sure that you don't have allergies to any of the medication. And then they review it, and you order your Jace case, and it comes in the mail. Bam. Just like that, you've got 5 separate antibiotics to treat all kinds of different bacterial infections. So if there is a supply chain interruption, or you're out of town and not near your doctor or pharmacy, you still have these things if you get sick. They also have add-ons like ivermectin, so you're going to be prepared for virtually anything you need. You can even get your daily medications from Jace. So go to jace.com, Jase. You can enter their giveaway and purchase your own Jace case there. Enter the promo code PAT at checkout. You'll get a discount on your order. That's promo code PAT at Jase, jace.com.
That gray is unleashed.
Wow. Do you actually think we can get through a clip from The Coven? I don't know if we can make it. I mean, seriously.
Boy, you talk about night and day, going from Stephen Miller to The Coven.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Whoopi Goldberg. Stephen Miller on The Coven would be phenomenal. How much would you pay to see that happen?
How do we make this happen?
I want it to. I wanted to.
There would be highlights for days from that episode.
Oh, man. I mean, it was tough enough when they had Stephen A. Smith on. He slapped him down pretty good, metaphorically speaking. But here they are from yesterday giving us a warning.
You just got to keep your eyes open, y'all. Because if they can just come up and take somebody because they've made a decision that you're supposed to be that person, any one of us could find ourselves being deported to some country.
Don't give
any idea. Pause it for a second.
Well, listen.
God, why is this? Again, The View is a subset of ABC News. Are you going to claim that any American citizen can be taken off the street and deported wherever they want? That's not the case. Oh, good.
Are you sure she knows that?
No, she's got to know. They just can't. These are not citizens. They're people who are committing crimes and continue crimes, and they've already committed many of them to begin with. And you still want them here? What does it matter? What's wrong with you? Seriously, again, it's treason. This is treason. And you just want Americans to be harmed. You don't care about your fellow citizens. And just an absolute bald-faced lie that this means they can come take anybody out of their home and deport them. These are illegal aliens who are also gang members. Wow, this is incredible. All right, let her go.
It is very clear to me that if we don't continue to say listen, I understand you want to clean out all the bad stuff. I get it.
No, you don't. You don't get it.
But why do you now have access to my personal information? I get what the things you're trying to do. I don't understand why you're taking my stuff, not my personally, but each and every one of you.
What? What are they taking from her?
I don't know.
What are you even talking about at this point?
Jeez.
What are you?
Something else,
I have no idea. I try to follow, but...
Jeez.
But I think yesterday was kind of other reporters were trying to defend the gang members. And here is Karoline Leavitt being critical about, hey, what are you using to profile the gang members?
What criteria, though, other than, say, tattoos or maybe being in the wrong place at the wrong time, are they using to determine that someone is actually a member of one of these organizations?
Intelligence and the men and women on the ground in the interior of our country who are finally being allowed to do their jobs. Their hands were tied under the previous administration, and as I said, they take their jobs very seriously. They should be trusted and respected by the American public with this operation, and of course, as I said to Kelly, the administration will provide all details to the questions that the court poses. Jennifer.
Wow. How about this? If you're so upset about it, how about if we send them directly to your home to live? Are you willing to take custody of these wonderful people? You can give them free room and board. Let them live with you for a while. All right, while we work it all out and make sure that we're getting just the right people. Okay? In the meantime, they're going to stay at your house. Is that what you want? Would you be really comfortable with that?
And
you know they would.
Questions kept coming up, and this is how she ended the press briefing, and it was great for her.
What is going on in Ireland is...
Do you have a question?
Yes.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you if you would be releasing more granular data about the people who were sent to El Salvador this week.
Granular.
Particularly, will you be releasing their names?
I don't believe so because of the privacy concerns at this point in time. That doesn't mean we won't eventually. I would defer you to the Department of Homeland Security for more details on the individuals on the flights. But we have been incredibly transparent in giving you the breakdown of the numbers and also some of the crimes committed by these heinous criminals and individuals. Kidnapping, sexual abuse of a child, robbery, aggravated assault on a police officer. I would remind everybody in this room that Tren de Agua is a foreign terrorist organization operating within the United States of America because the previous administration allowed them to invade our country. These are monsters who tortured, raped, and murdered a 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungre. They murdered 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley. They led a multi-state sex trafficking operation involving smuggling women into the United States, holding them in stash houses in Louisiana, Florida, New Jersey, Texas, and Virginia, and forcing them into prostitution. They kidnapped and murdered a 33-year-old woman in Texas. They sexually and physically assaulted a woman and her daughter in Wisconsin. They conducted a mass shooting in Illinois. They peddled untraceable ghost guns across New York City, took over an Aurora, Colorado apartment complex where they kidnapped and tortured victims. And by the way, many of you in the mainstream media said that didn't happen. It turned out that it did. And because of the effective immigration policies of this administration, those foreign terrorists were detained and they are no longer operating on American soil, and we have President Trump to thank for that. We'll see you guys later at the Kennedy Center.
There's a lot of mic drops going on yesterday with this administration.
Awesome. She should have added, all right, in other words, what I'm saying is that these are salt of the earth people to you people on the left. These are the greatest people alive and should be allowed not just to live here, but to receive all the benefits this country has to offer. Let's just put them all on Social Security benefits for the rest of their lives. Give them free health care, free educations. They're wonderful, aren't they? I mean, this is what we're dealing with on the left. They just don't make any sense. And they continue to be just completely screwed up. Symone Sanders Townsend on MSNBC is claiming that she's leaving the party over the continuing resolution being passed.
Oh.
What is in this
bill?
continuing resolution? Well, there are cuts on page 17, on page 22. I wrote this down. There are cuts on page 46, cuts on page 42, 22, cuts on page 62, cuts on page 63, cuts on page 64. Page 62 is where they cut $300 million from the Cures Act. Burn pits for veterans. Page 22 is where they zero out the money for the COPS program. I didn't write down which page it was on, but within this document, $1 billion cut from Washington, D.C. I'm a D.C. resident, and I'm pissed.
Yep.
Okay, so, you know, there's actually little that the Senate minority leader can say, and the 10 Democrats that voted with the Republicans can say, to appease somebody like me, I'm about to change my registration to independent.
Oh, wow, that hurts. I'm sure they're going to miss you.
That'll show them. Wow. The left, though, it is kind of hilarious to see the left and how they're acting toward Chuck Schumer now.
Oh, yeah.
They are pissed at him.
Yes, they are.
In fact, he had to cancel a book tour or something, right? Because of threats from his own base.
Has he written a book? Chuck Schumer? Who's going to buy Chuck Schumer's book?
Well, he reads everything when he speaks at the Senate, so somebody's writing something for him. I wonder what his book's called. What do you think? What do you think it's called? Book title.
I'm a dipwad.
I'm a dipwad. There it is. I'm a dipwad.
My time as a butt hook.
My time as a butt hook.
Yeah.
Dude, I'd actually read that.
I might read the first couple pages.
Anti-Semitism in America.
Yeah, I see that.
Anti-Semitism. Oh, okay. What a crusader he is for Israel, isn't he?
Oh, sorry. Whatever that word is in America, a warning.
A warning. Okay. Powerful. Now, how much would you pay to read that book?
50 cents.
Would you really?
50 cents.
Wow. That's generous. It's generous.
No.
Meanwhile, the Democrats continue to lie about Medicaid cuts.
Oh, my gosh. This is
come on.
Look at this. Look at this article right here. Washington Post. Trump County worries Medicaid cuts will impact addiction recovery programs. It's like not only are they just repeating the lie, but now they're writing entire stories about it.
Yeah, based on the lie.
Yes.
Check this out.
I look after seniors here at the nursing home. Most of them pay for it through Medicaid. So if Congress goes through these big cuts to Medicaid, some of our residents will probably have to leave. Most of them will have nowhere else to go.
Probably have to.
And look, I'm a Republican. I voted for Donald Trump.
Sure.
But Medicaid should not be a political thing. They need to know cutting it will hurt all of us. Congressman Newhouse, we're all counting on you.
You need to make some cuts, my friend.
Medicaid.
At the table.
Yeah, at the table. Use that fork a little bit less.
Let me eat!
If you would.
But we don't fat shame on this show.
Oh, we don't. No. I'm looking out for his health. That's all.
I mean, now they're making ads about something that
is not happening.
The president has said,
my gosh.
How many times has he said?
So many.
It's not happening. We're not cutting Medicaid.
Read my lips.
He said, read my lips. Right.
Here's what he said.
The spending bill that passed last night aims to cut $2 trillion.
Right.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question.
Right? Jeez. Seriously, what does it take? They don't care about reality. They don't care about truth. Again, this is the party who doesn't even know what a woman is. They can't explain that to you. They can't identify a woman. So,
well, they're embryologists.
So. Right. Man, obviously, they're not financial wizards either. They're not accountants. They're not tax experts. They know nothing about anything. And they just make stuff up. They just make it up out of whole cloth. They know that Medicare and Social Security are so deeply ingrained in American society and culture now that people depend on it so much now that they can scare the crap out of people just by saying, oh, he's threatening your benefits. So they scare the hell out of old people who realize they can't function without it. That's completely what they depend upon. This fixed income that they get every month, if that's taken from them, it's over.
I wonder what kind of effect that has on the elderly anymore. Those kind of threats. I mean, it's young people that support Trump.
Yeah.
So even if your messaging is, we're going to cut Medicaid, we're going to cut Medicare, whether it's true or not, I just don't know what kind of impact that's going to have, considering where his support comes from.
Well, I think there's enough senior citizens who support him and who don't, that are on Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security benefits. They think, well, they can't keep saying it if it's not true, right? Which is why they keep saying it. Despicable. More coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Some tweets here, Hogasm tweets. Is it just me, or does Tulsi being in India during the JFK file release have that L.A. mayor during the fires vibe to it?
Oh, no. No.
From Mr. Sean's, Tom Homan is the Bobby Knight of ICE. Sarah the Band, I'm sure Chuck Schumer's book is as appealing as his hamburgers, which, remember the barbecue situation?
Frozen beef with cheese on it. Such a dumb man. Here, take the picture of me being a normal American.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just like you.
I'm just like you.
I barbecue too in my backyard. Great.
That's awesome.
So the swatting of conservative people and voices continues. I mean, this is so incredibly dangerous. Not just for the people being swatted, but dangerous for law enforcement, too.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, somebody has cops busting into their house in the middle of the night. They don't know for what or who it is, even. I mean, that endangers their lives, too. This is really bad. And everybody who is caught swatting people should be punished to the full extent of the law.
Yeah.
But here's a video from Larry Taunton's house.
Yeah, so we're up to I can't even keep track. Are we up to a dozen yet?
My business, but it don't look like there's been 3 or 4 guys in here. Shot everybody.
Scary.
Look at that, dude. Call 911.
Wow.
Explain to them.
Wow.
Everything in the house
look,
is...
you wouldn't know they're cops. You don't have any idea.
Well,
I don't know who they are. They're not. It doesn't look like they're wearing uniforms.
Yeah, it does.
Didn't look like it. I didn't see any identifying.
Okay.
Go back. Let's see. Show me the identifying marks. I want to see the.
Yeah.
Looks like they just got civilian clothes on. Oh, okay. That guy. But the guy at the door right there. Is he wearing anything that identifies him as an officer?
I mean, I see a badge.
I don't know. Okay, there's a badge. But, I mean, it's dark.
I got you. 100%.
It's dark. He's got a freaking semi-automatic rifle with him. I don't know what he's doing there.
Yep. You call 911. You explain to them.
Yes.
There's no threat in this house. I'm going to open the, let them do the communication.
And that's what he was talking about during the whole thread on X, where I just looked at my camera and I saw a dark shadow.
Yeah, exactly.
With a weapon.
Right.
And my dog woke me up.
You don't know what's going on in the middle of the night like that. You wake up from a dead sleep, and there's armed people trying to get into your house. Super bad. Really, really bad. That is a heinous crime.
It sure is. It sure is.
And Matt Van Swall, near Asheville, North Carolina, also swatted over the weekend.
You want to put the picture up there? I mean, this is what he saw outside of it. Now, this cop that showed up, this guy apparently was just absolutely professional.
That's
great,
cool.
Great trigger discipline as well.
I mean, he's clearly a cop, or at least dressed as one.
Yep. Okay. So anyhow, but Matt Von Swall, he's not a conservative influencer. He's just been trying to help victims around Asheville, North Carolina. That's offensive? I don't understand this.
Right.
So it's getting ugly out there.
Sure
Please
is.
pray for the officers and the people that are being sent to their houses, because this is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Super dangerous.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be really, really hurt.
And what
killed.
Keith said, it's what actually most of the people that are getting swatted are saying. If you think that you're going to get swatted, contact the local police department. But then if you see what's happening, you see a cop, call 911.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be like,
and
hey,
tell them there's no threat here.
There's no threat
I think
here.
somebody's swatting me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then make sure your hands are in plain sight.
Yes.
You don't make any sudden moves. I mean, there's only so much you can do once it's happening, but you can take those steps. You can definitely call 911.
Yep, comply
say,
with the orders.
I don't know. Is there a SWAT team outside my house? There's no threat here. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's gotten to the attention of the FBI director now.
Yeah, he tweeted out, I want to address the alarming rise in swatting incidents targeting media figures. The FBI is aware of this dangerous trend, and my team and I are already taking action to investigate and hold those responsible accountable. This isn't about politics. Weaponizing law enforcement against any American is not only morally reprehensible, but also endangers lives, including those of our officers. This will not be tolerated. We're fully committed to working with the local law enforcement to crack down on these crimes. More updates to come.
Yeah. So
the other thing it would do too is put that little hinge of this little tint of doubt in the minds of the law enforcement agency.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is this a real call?
Yep.
Or is somebody being swatted? And that can be harmful in itself.
Yeah. Some of the guidance on this is if you're able to retreat to a secure room or an interior space with no windows, call 911. Tell them you believe that this is a false target of my home, and so then you let the dispatcher communicate with law enforcement and then tell you the next instructions for you there. But Brianna Morello has a theory that she tweeted out. She was actually up here recently on the Blaze shows, and her thing was the conservative influencers being swatted have all tweeted negative criticism of Ukraine. This is just her theory. These individuals all ramped up their criticism for Ukraine in the week following 2/28 meeting at the White House between Zelensky and Trump. And she's got screenshots of their tweets. Now, that could just be coincidence. May not be related to Ukraine criticisms whatsoever. But it's an interesting theory to at least investigate as authorities are trying to figure out who is doing this and if they're all connected. But, it's...
interesting. All right. Let me take a minute and welcome a new sponsor to the show, Smart Credit. With interest rates expected to drop, you could save a ton on everything you finance. That's great news, right? But here's the thing. To cash in on the savings, you need a higher credit score. How, you ask? How do you get that? Well, with Smart Credit. On average, Smart Credit users raise their credit score up to 34 points in just 30 days. Imagine it. That would mean a lower car payment, better mortgage rate, and major savings. Smart Credit's patented technology scans your credit profile and pinpoints exactly which bills to pay and when to maximize your score. So it's like having the best credit knowledge in your pocket. Don't wait. Take control of your credit score with Smart Credit and be ready to cash in when interest rates fall. Start with your 7-day trial at smartcredit.com/Pat, and for just $1, you can see how many points you can add to your credit score. That's smartcredit.com/Pat. Average point changes are based on historical data. Individual results may vary and are not guaranteed. But smartcredit.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Forgot about the Kathy Hochul stuff.
Yeah.
Governor Hochul also has an ad in New York about what's happening. Is this the ad, or is this somebody asking her?
Okay, so this is her ad, basically accusing the Trump administration of making cuts that aren't happening.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear Elon Musk call Social Security a Ponzi scheme,
that's a fact,
it is not a Ponzi scheme.
Oh, no.
It's part of the social commitment we have to our citizens and our residents.
All right. But it's also a Ponzi scheme.
Governor Hochul visits senior citizens to talk about
He also said that
affordability.
entitlements, meaning they are entitled to it, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, are such a big part of the budget that they should go first. And this is what they're talking about in Washington. I'm going to fight for you every step of the way.
God.
So I am putting a significant amount of money, $53 million, toward that statewide to make sure we can start focusing on all those needs as well. I'm also focused on tax cuts for people. There's an inflation rebate.
Sounds uncertain.
So I'm going to make sure that Families get $500.
All right.
Individuals get $300 back, and I'm fighting for that in Albany right now. That's really important to me.
That's important to her. See, she's looking out for New Yorkers, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because we are New York. Well, we're not, but in New York, I guess they are New York. So that's interesting.
That's fair.
The interesting thing about that, she's actually implementing a plan that will take health care away from disabled New Yorkers beginning April 1st. So in just a couple of weeks, and she was confronted over that.
This is so great. This disabled woman who is not taking this line. I love this.
CDPAP is very important to me, and the estimates out of your own Department of Health are that at least 26,000 to 28,000 people with disabilities are going to lose their services. That is what the Department of Health has said, and it's the most conservative figure. So that's 10%.
This guy trying to get her out of there.
PPL in the past has had even worse attrition. In Pennsylvania, it was up to 40% who lost their services. It is unacceptable. You're talking about affordability and people that I know, that I love.
I love that Kathy Hochul can't walk away.
Of losing our services.
What are you going to do here?
And our home care workers are now making minimum wage.
Yeah, that's bad optics if you walk away.
She's like, you're implementing what Pennsylvania implemented, and that was a disaster, and it's about to happen here April 1st.
We must preserve CDPAP, and affordability does not mean going to the people that you are paying to pay with.
This is so good, and it goes on and on and on.
And you're giving money to I want to see your money and the amount go where the care is. I don't want to hear sound bites anymore.
I don't want to hear sound bites.
I have not been lied to. I've been looking at the history with PPL. So the Department of Justice, the Department of Health, your own Department of Health.
Your own Department of Health? You're saying that they're wrong?
Have you guaranteed that we won't lose our care?
Oh yeah, her dog's pissed. You're right, Chris. He's like, you're making my mama mad. Get out.
A million people lost their Medicaid due to paperwork.
I love it. 2.5 minutes, Kathy Hochul is trapped.
Oh, she wants out of there so badly. Oh, she just wants to run. That's fantastic.
It is. Anyway, there you go.
Wow. So that's her only response. Okay, we got it. You've been lied to. Yeah, by you. Yeah, you're lying to me right now.
Somebody's lying. Either you're lying now or your own health department is lying, Kathy. Which is it?
Incredible. And so when it happens, when it goes into effect, she's going to blame Trump.
Oh.
You know she is. And it's her doing.
It might be why she's doing it.
Right.
So she can say,
yes,
hey, I know
it might be.
New Yorkers are suffering. This is what happens when you have Trump in office.
Right.
Boy, that might be part of the plan. She can't say that.
And all Trump has done is, since he got into office, is try to help New Yorkers. He's trying to remove that toll, which I think he did, right? I don't know if people are paying that right now. But she's fighting tooth and nail to keep that $9 toll just for the privilege of driving into Manhattan.
Is it a certain time of day? Is it congestion pricing? Is that what it is? So
I don't know if it's on all the time. I don't know, but
you could
it's ridiculous.
Just make more walkways the way they did in Times Square. Just
sure.
Make the whole island just a big, giant green belt.
Well, they were trying to do that. They were trying. Jeez. Also, former UFC champion Conor McGregor was visiting yesterday from Ireland because, of course, St. Patrick's Day, and so we
That's right.
have to have Irish people here.
It's the only time they're invited to the White House is when it's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good time to invite Irish people, I guess, to the White House, but...
Congratulations, sir. I tell you what, your work ethic is inspiring. Your work is inspiring.
There's the future Prime Minister of Ireland right there, meeting with our president.
But I think our theory is right because that Gulf of America fund just got bigger than the last one. Go ahead and put it up again. Put the video up.
I love it.
I love it.
Look at that. It's literally taking the entire Gulf. Before it was 2 fonts, one on top, one at the bottom. Now it's the entire Gulf.
Right.
Every time that thing comes up, the font gets bigger.
Now, do you think they're doing that on purpose, or do you think Trump just says...
No, they're just doing it on purpose.
Hey,
no, they're just trolling.
This sign needs to be bigger. I want the font bigger.
Little reminder, we just changed the name of this. Remember, it used to be the Gulf of Mexico. Now it's the Gulf of America.
Boom.
What are you going to do about it?
He loves that map, too. He shows it off to everybody that comes to the White House.
Yep. Yeah, he loves it.
He loves that.
McGregor also met with Pete Hegseth.
Hey, I'm here with the one and only Conor McGregor. You got a message for the troops?
To the notorious Conor McGregor here. This is a message to the great troops of the United States of America. I'm here with your Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. You're in good hands. Men, women, keep fighting the good fight. Fight, 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 as the big man says. Let's go, troops of America. God bless.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, sir. God bless us. Thank you.
And that's in connection to what now, Chris?
So remember, they're trying to teach all these military personnel MMA fighting.
Oh.
So
are they tying that into it as well?
I believe so.
Will Conor McGregor be the one training?
That'll be great.
I thought that was FBI, but it's the military too?
I believe it's the Pentagon, yes.
Oh, anyway. Okay. All right.
The only problem is there are some issues with him right now. A couple of little snags.
Little cocaine. It's a little bit of cocaine.
Cocaine. There's a rape allegation. I mean, it's a bad time for Conor McGregor right now. But he had this to say in the press room.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action with zero accountability. You know, our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop, that have become a minority in one swoop. So issues need to be addressed. And the 40 million Irish Americans, as I said, need to hear this, because if not, there will be no place to come home and visit.
That's interesting, too. Yeah, they have their own problems in Europe. And, we're trying to prevent that here.
Yeah.
And they're getting nothing but garbage over it.
They're kicking families out of homes and so they can house immigrants. I mean, it is obscene what is happening in Ireland and a lot of the West.
Yeah, right. It's a destruction of Western civilization. And are we going to allow it? Or are we going to at least slow it down and try to stop it? We've got more. I mean, immigrants arriving literally by the boatloads into Western European nations. We'll get into that. Also, Canada apparently gets it now. Oh, we understand the tariff strategy. Get into that as well, coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
With some tweets for you. Unrepentant thought criminal tweets. If Bernie Madoff ran Social Security, it would be less of a scam. Gen X kid, can someone explain to me when it became standard procedure for SWAT to respond to an unknown situation solely based on a phone call? This is insane. And from Chuck Shazam Bartowski, Ireland, 52nd state. Maybe? Yeah, maybe.
By the way, though, if the cops don't show up and something bad is happening, I mean, this is a no-win situation for the cops.
There's another thing.
They have to respond.
Yep.
Anyway.
But it's dangerous all around.
Yes.
All the way around. Incredible. So March Madness actually begins today, right? The play-in games, I think, start today.
Tonight, yeah.
So that's kind of fun. That's really fun, in fact. There you go. Have you filled out your bracket yet?
Of course I have.
Okay.
I think I've got University of Nebraska, Omaha, taking it all.
I need a clean bracket printed. Can you print a bracket for me? Oh, thank you.
I can't wait to see.
Thank you.
No. Y'all stand down in there. I want to see if Chris can figure out what we're even talking about.
Do you doubt?
What the hell does that mean?
Territorians aren't really into sport basketball tournaments.
Okay, but I know how to Google March Madness bracket and get
let's
a
see what you
printable
get.
version.
All right, let's see
okay.
it. Let's see it.
Let's see if we can pull this off.
Prove him wrong, Chris.
Prove me wrong.
Because I've got confidence in your ability to do it. Last night, I was just looking for a little help. You know, there are some teams that do really well in tournaments and others that kind of don't fare well for whatever reason because, you know, they're different teams almost every year. New kids come in, others graduate, and so on and so forth. But there are some standard, you know, some absolute powerhouses that you can pretty well count on. You know who the all-time winningest college in basketball history is, right?
So most wins ever.
Most wins ever.
I mean, I've got
Who would you think that
I've
is?
got 3 guesses.
Okay. All right. Well, give me your best guess.
I'm going to go with Duke.
Duke.
Or Kansas or North Carolina.
Or Kansas or North Carolina.
Or Nebraska. No.
Or Nebraska. None of the above.
No.
Kansas.
I just said Duke.
You said Duke, North
Kansas,
Carolina?
Kansas, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. You did say
At least I meant to say that. My brain meant to say that.
But I was focused, I guess, on Duke.
Yeah,
they're
I
not.
lost.
But they are number 4. So it's Kansas, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
Of course. North Carolina, Duke, UCLA. I mean, there was a time when UCLA was unstoppable. Would they win 10 in a row or something?
Yeah.
10 national championships in a row?
Something ridiculous.
Then you got Syracuse, which is kind of surprising. Number 6. Temple, Notre Dame, St. John's, which is impressive for a small school. Indiana, Purdue, Cincinnati, Illinois, Texas. The Godless Animals are 15th.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Get this. Number 16. Western Kentucky?
All right, Hilltoppers.
What?
Okay.
I would have never guessed that. BYU 17th.
I want to inspect this bracket here.
Then
from the
Arizona,
territory.
Villanova, Washington round out the top 20. Thank you, Chris. I think you did it.
Oh my gosh,
Very
Chris.
small, but I think he did it.
No. I love this, Chris. This has the cities too.
Oh, that's great.
This is excellent.
Nicely
sir.
done.
Well
He's
done.
got to eat his words. Way to go, Chris.
Yes.
No,
Eat that paper now.
No, this isn't the best bracket. I'm sorry. I'm going to need tip-off times for the first round games, please. Okay, so you mentioned UCLA.
Yeah.
So
Fifth.
it was 7 consecutive national championships.
Oh, okay, 7 consecutive.
Do you have a guess as to their long winning streak?
Their longest
Their
winning
longest
streak?
winning streak, yeah.
72 games.
88.
88.
That's insane.
Darn it. 88.
That is insane.
And who ended it? Was it Notre Dame? I think Notre Dame ended their winning streak.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep, it was.
Okay.
It was.
88 games in a row. Can you imagine that? That's amazing. That's almost 3 seasons without a loss.
Back in the 70s.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had some pretty good teams. But
second place to that is 45.
Wow.
45 straight UNLV.
Wow. Huh.
That's a gap.
Yeah. I don't think that'll ever happen again. According to NCAA.com, the odds of picking a perfect bracket at random, not even counting the play-in games, is 1 chance out of 2 to the 63rd power, which is 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
Oh my goodness. Hang on.
1 in 9.2 quintillion, give or take 20 quadrillion or so. What's, when you're talking those kinds of numbers, what's 20 quadrillion amongst friends?
Yeah.
Yes. According to University of Hawaii research, that's more brackets than the number of grains of sand on Earth. In other words, it's virtually impossible
those look
to
like
get a
the
perfect
odds
bracket.
that I would have in a parlay that I would do for NFL Sunday.
Yeah, probably. That's amazing, though. It just can't be done, really. The NCAA.com makes the odds more like 1 in 120.2 billion. I don't know why the discrepancy. That's a huge discrepancy.
No kidding.
Wow.
So
if the person making the bracket takes into account info about which teams are better in tournament history, I guess you can lower the odds a bit.
I see.
But there's no way because
No, there's always upsets.
Yeah, always.
There you go.
Always upsets.
So it's
I kind of went with the favorites last year in most cases, and didn't get anywhere near it. All of my picks were done by, I think, the Sweet 16 pretty much. Look at that number, though.
It's
That's
19
incredible.
places here. One in,
Jeez.
and then 19 numbers.
And I think, do they still do the $1 billion offer? If you ever get a perfect bracket and you could, prove it, then you get $1 billion. Somebody had that on the line. I don't know if they still do. But it's just not going to happen. Even predicting the outcome, the eventual winner is difficult, let alone predicting every single winner, every single round.
I just don't understand the geography here. How did they pick these? Milwaukee's in the South Regional, as is Cleveland. But Raleigh's
and Denver's
in the West.
East.
Right, okay, but Raleigh's in the West. See, okay, so which Providence is in the West. Just
doesn't make any sense.
They got to stop calling them the cardinal directions. It's just bracket A, bracket B, bracket C, bracket
Okay, so why do immigrants choose Western nations? You ever wondered? Why they're all flooding into Western Europe and the United States of America?
Oh, you're about to do an Andy Rooney there. Ever wonder why?
Ever wonder? I was about to, but then I decided, no, nobody even knows who that is anymore.
They know more about Andy Rooney than Chicken Man, I'll tell you that. All right?
You think?
I think.
All right.
Anyway, so, but I don't know who these people are, but this is pretty interesting.
Okay.
If Islam is so fantastic, why do Muslims always flee to Christian countries? Why not go to Saudi or another Muslim country?
Well, because Saudi Arabia actively prevents their Muslim neighbors from going there. And the UK government or the US...
But why does Saudi prevent migrants going there?
Look, I'm not an ambassador for the Saudi government.
Isn't it because Christian lands are free and tolerant and open? And isn't that the very thing that Muslims try and change when they arrive in our country?
Yeah.
Why not go to Saudi? Why not go to another country where
because when you
the
have
Muslim
a kid,
faith is practiced? Tell me.
When you have a kid on your hands, you try to find any refuge. Literally, you would go across the Mediterranean even if you don't know how to swim. You would do anything possible for your 2-year-old.
We don't see any women and children on the boats across the Med.
We do see.
Such a great point.
Yep.
Same thing at the border.
Oh, these families are just looking for a better life. All the families coming across the border.
And then you see the people streaming across the border. It's all 18 to 35-year-old men. Jeez. Closer to home, there's another Islam-centered community. Getting started in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Wait, besides the one we already talked about?
Yeah, there's actually multiples of these. It's down in Houston, too. It doesn't seem like Texas government is too concerned.
Oh, wow.
But, yeah. It's
okay.
Got a lot going on, huh? How exciting.
Because we have the one, it's near
Epic
Plano.
Cities. Yeah, it's right over here.
Yeah.
This one is a town up near Plano. So, yeah, let's see what we got here.
Allahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. This is Imam Sajid from the Islamic Center of Aubrey.
Nice. Aubrey.
We have a historic opportunity here to build the first masjid in Aubrey, Texas. Join us on this campaign to buy 25 acres of land that gives us unimaginable growth, inshallah. We are going to be able to build our first masjid in Aubrey, Texas. But in addition to that, we'll be able to build a residential area, but also a recreational area for our families and our children and for future generations to come, inshallah. Alhamdulillah.
I'm standing in front of the 10 acres that will be entirely single-family homes. It'll be a community for our congregation. We will be walking distance across the small street right to the entire masjid campus and facilities that will include all the things that we need for our current and future generations to come. Alhamdulillah, there's going to be between 80 and 120 homes only by the will of Allah. And the masjid campus will be an academy. It will also have a commercial element where we're going to have some retail and some other things that will be supportive resources for our congregation, as well as some recreational facilities.
I'm interested in the community.
Vision,
yeah, this is my next home right here.
all of us to come together to support for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Brothers and sisters, this is an opportunity to be from the as-sabiqun, inshallah, from the pioneers, from the first people that brought this vision and this masjid into fruition.
All right,
join us to be.
So what does inshallah mean?
God willing.
God willing or no? Coming in the future, something like that, right?
God willing. If Allah wills.
Oh, okay.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Good. All right.
No, it's cool.
Jeez.
It's cool. No, this Amy Meck, she has been focused on all of these communities that
Inshallah.
are popping up around the country.
Okay.
So Texas is getting their influx now of these awesome new communities. But Patterson, New Jersey.
Is happening there too.
That's the epicenter of it.
We are a city that appreciates and embraces Islam.
Okay.
Patterson is the fourth holiest city in the world?
That's what?
What?
That's what they're saying.
Wait, what? How did Patterson, New Jersey,
I don't know,
become the fourth holiest city in the world?
I don't know. Dearborn, Michigan has entered the chat.
Holy cow.
Minneapolis, Minnesota has entered the chat.
Yeah, but look at the top four.
I know.
Jerusalem, Mecca, Medina, then Patterson, New Jersey.
That's a quote.
Okay. All right. We're proud to host iftar at City Hall.
Now, wait a minute.
Wow. Muslim students have halal food in schools, Eid holidays off, and the call to prayer in the streets. Renaming Main Street to Palestine Way. This is happening in Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Using so-called government-sponsored religious events to promote the anti-Israel BDS movement. That's the boycott of Israel movement. And declaring Patterson the capital of Palestine in the United States.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But you know you've made it when your town does the prayer call in the streets.
You do.
When you have the when you see them putting in the speakers, and you're like, "What's that all about?"
Yes, finally.
Yeah.
Finally, we have arrived. Yeah. Wow. Patterson, New Jersey, the fourth holiest city.
I mean, I've lived in New Jersey.
In the world.
There's nothing holy about
I know.
New Jersey.
I would have never guessed. Tell you that. Would not have guessed that.
Okay, well.
Whatever. Nothing to be concerned about, I'm sure. I'm sure everything's fine. Nothing to see here. Move along.
I mean,
Inshallah. Wow.
Yeah, I watched a 15-minute presentation from Patterson, New Jersey officials last week that probably Amy Meck posted. That's probably how I saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Separation of church and state does not apply to anybody but Christians.
That's correct. Yeah, that is correct. All right. Last week, Lila Rose posted this from a heartsick woman who had aborted her child and then instantly regretted it, which is why we're going to tell you about preborn and the work that they do, because it's so vital. But this is hard to hear. She writes, I was 7 weeks, 3 days yesterday. Okay, so she was 7 weeks along. She took her second dose of pills, the abortion pill. She took them at 4:30 p.m. By 9, I had passed everything fairly painlessly. However, last night during the peak of the cramps at 6:30, went to the restroom, and before I could even sit down, a fair amount of liquid poured out along with a small sack, probably about the size of a small blueberry.
Oh, gosh, no.
This is really, really difficult, but it's so important. Anyway, she goes on to describe more of that. She said it literally, she heard the heart, it was very, very clearly contracting like a heartbeat. It beat for probably 30 to 45 seconds and then nothing. And that literally shattered me. I've never felt this way, and I feel so much regret. I don't even know what I saw as possible, and I can't find anyone talking about this happening. I'm so confused and feel unbelievably guilty. This is the result of an abortion that somebody felt they needed to have, and so they got the abortion pill, which is supposed to be so great, and just wipes it from your life without any surgery. Don't worry about it.
She bought the lie.
Yep.
That it wasn't a life.
That's why there's preborn. Preborn helps convince these women that that is human life inside of them, and there are other ways. They'll support you. At first, they show you the ultrasound, which shows you the heartbeat, shows you the fetus, shows you the baby inside. It's really critical That's only $28, and it doubles the chance that the woman is going to choose life. And then the really phenomenal thing about it is that then their work isn't done once the baby's born. They support the mom for up to 2 years afterward with baby food and baby formula and diapers and strollers and high chairs and all the things that they need support with. And that is all possible because of your donation. Whatever you can afford. Please dial pound 250, say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby, or you could donate securely at preborn.com/Pat.
Follow Pat on X at Pat Unleashed. Pat Gray Unleashed returns right after this.
Good news! Canada now says they understand Trump's tariff strategy. Wow! Congratulations on that. After a lengthy meeting with President Trump's top trade officials, Canadian representatives say they have a clearer understanding of the rationale. Tariffs are now a global policy of the United States, said David Patterson, Ontario's representative. And this is a historic change to global trading patterns. And the Americans are very aware of that. Yeah. Do you have brain damage? How are you not getting that before? Yeah, we're trying to lower our deficit and lower taxes. And we're also trying to get other nations to fairly trade with us. What part of that is not understandable? So bizarre. But welcome. Welcome to reality now, Canada. Congratulations. Meanwhile, Mike Benz on USAID money going to George Soros. So it goes from us to USAID to George Soros? Is that how this works? Cut 16.
USAID gave $5 million to Open Society Foundation Macedonia. $5 million, a direct grantee. With the help of then-President Barack Obama's U.S. ambassador to Macedonia, the U.S. government spent millions of taxpayer dollars to destabilize the democratically elected center-right government by colluding with Soros. So USAID is
not
actually
just
funding
Macedonia.
Soros, and Soros is passing those funds to the people on the ground, the local politicians, the local judges, the local prosecutors, the local anti-corruption NGOs, the local media outlets, the local trade labor groups and unions. One NGO funded by the USAID Soros Alliance paid for the translation into Macedonian of Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals.
Oh, wow.
So USAID paid to have Saul Alinsky street protest handbooks printed. How funny is that?
Wow. Not really funny, actually.
Yeah, that's a wrong word choice, Mikey.
Funny at all.
Yeah, and that's just one example of so many countries. I mean, this is the kind of thing, Glenn has talked about for years about Soros, but it really sucks to sit back and go, oh, crap, we've been paying for all that. Awesome.
It also looks like Elon is looking into the Act Blue scam, which, that's the biggest, I believe it's the biggest political action committee for the Democrats, right? It's like a gigantic slush fund of billions of dollars. Cut 29.
Well, I will say if Act Blue and Arabella Networks...
Act Blue is a huge scam, next level.
Do you think it's foreign money, Chinese money? Where do you think the money in Act Blue is coming from? And how do you figure that out?
Well, it's not coming from from a whole bunch of... from a groundswell of public support. Because when individual donors are looked at in Act Blue, they eventually turn out to be like diehard Republicans, people that have never given money in their life. So you're going to track down a bunch of these people where it says, oh, I gave $16,000. And they're like, I didn't give $16,000. What are you talking about?
Well, if those
Republican friends of mine found themselves on the Act Blue list, and they're like, it definitely wasn't me. So that's...
If it can actually be shown that they are funding firebombing of Tesla charging stations, that's objectively a criminal act. That is funding terrorist activity. And the statutes make clear that an incendiary device qualifies. So that's a big
deal.
Is
a terrorist activity. Yeah.
That, of course, from Verdict with Ted Cruz, the podcast. He's been doing it for a while, though, I'm told.
Yes, he has.
A long time? Like years?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, I knew that. I was testing you guys because I'm
awesome.
a regular enjoyer of the Verdict podcast.
I mean, you know that James O'Keefe has done these undercover things where he shows up at people's houses and these confused old people are like, "What? I didn't do this. I mean, congratulations.
Right.
That's our money.
Yeah.
And their name, so it looks like it's grassroots. It's just insane. But
the Act Blue scam. It's so great that that's being exposed now.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Musk also, this was on the same podcast, right?
Yep.
He also talked about the magic money computers the government has. Yes. This is good stuff.
One of the things you told me about is what you call
insane.
Magic money computers at the Treasury. So tell us about it, because I never heard of that until you brought that up.
Okay, so you may think that that the government computers all talk to each other. They synchronize.
I would have thought
they add up what funds are going somewhere, and it's it's coherent. That there's and that the numbers, for example, that you're presented as a senator, are actually the real numbers.
One would think.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're not totally wrong, but they're probably off by 5% or 10% in some cases. So I call a magic money computer any computer which can just make money out of thin air. That's magic money.
So how does that work?
It just issues payments.
Oh.
And you said there's something like 11 of these computers at Treasury that are sending out trillions in payments?
They're mostly at Treasury. Some are, but there's some at HHS, there's one or two at State, there's some at DOD. I think we found now 14 magic money computers.
Oh,
where
wow.
They just send money out of nothing.
Huh. I'd like one of those computers. Just send me money to my bank account.
You're right. That's a takeaway here.
Right out of the blue. Just send it to me.
Thank you to Elon and Doge for rooting this out. Now, as you're clearing those out, why don't you send one over to my house?
Yeah. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Yeah!
Woo! I like this, Pat. Where were you been?
888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Did you see that Gene Hackman's children apparently not mentioned in his will?
What a mess this is.
So now they're wondering what happens to the $80 million fortune. How many times have I talked about the fact that I am Gene Hackman's illegitimate love child?
What?
How many times do I have to say it?
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
And I guess I miss you so much, Papa. But I don't know why that comes up right now. It's just that I miss him. I miss him. Yeah.
You miss him.
I miss him.
So you've never mentioned that on the air.
Oh, really?
On the air.
No, it's always been in the commercial breaks.
Because it's a little embarrassing, I guess. You know. So, I didn't want to name drop.
But right. But he means a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Obviously.
Pat Hackman is my real name.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Why didn't you name the show Pat Hackman Unleashed?
I wanted to be listed in the phone book. Plus, I didn't want to seem like, I'm a name dropper.
I see.
So I went with the more generic Gray.
That's interesting.
It is, right?
Brother, Pat. I'll split it with you.
No, really?
Yeah.
Your mom, too? Wow, he got around. Gene got around for a while.
So they've moved the date of the wife's death.
Yeah.
She still died before him, according to authorities. Right?
Yeah.
But it's just a few days before now.
Yes.
What a mess this is.
A total mess.
Because now she can't, in theory, inherit the money because she died first.
Right. What I read was that in the event of her dying first, it goes to charity, right?
Okay, there's a 90-day window.
Yeah.
I knew that what she inherited goes to charity, but that I don't know specifically in this scenario.
Such a weird situation anyway.
My name is Charity.
So she died before him, and then he just fell over dead a couple days later. It's just weird. And was he so riddled with dementia that he didn't know really what was going on with her? Or is that what the deal was? Oh, gosh. Just really a horrible situation.
And I was reading how they couldn't even reach. So not only do you have the kids not reaching out around that time, which makes sense if you're estranged, and that would make
And they
sense
must
with the
be,
will.
right?
Yeah. But they couldn't even reach them. Like the
geez.
handyman or the, like, it just, ugh.
Weird.
I'm just looking here. I don't know.
And the person that found the bodies, he feels so guilty because he I guess he's been struggling for the last couple of weeks, saying like, I could have probably done something if I would have gone there earlier.
Yeah. That guy can't beat himself up.
No, you cannot.
And we know that the dog definitely died of dehydration and starvation.
Yes.
They found
Dang it.
just bile
Really?
and hair in its stomach. But you're correct. Her own will left her assets to Hackman, which in this case would have it would have happened, with a provision that if they did die within 90 days of each other, the
Goes to
estate would
charity.
go to a trust and later be donated to charity after covering medical expenses.
Which is interesting. We've got kids. They must be really estranged, huh?
Yeah, I mean, like normally you put something in the will, right? That's like, here's $5,000.
Yeah,
I didn't
something.
forget about you.
Something.
This is no mention at all.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's sad. All right. Speaking of dementia, I mean, we have a 2,000 person D.C. press corps. 2,000 people in the press corps in Washington, D.C. None of them noticed Kay Granger, Republican from Texas. None of them noticed she was missing for months from Congress. Just doesn't show up for any votes, for any. This is not some obscure member of Congress either. Kay Granger was like
She ran
was-
a committee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
She is the Appropriations Committee, so she was a powerful Congressperson from Texas. And then finally, is it the Dallas Express for some reason stumbled onto this and said, "Hey, where's Kay Granger?" And they went looking for her and found her at this rest home for dementia patients. I mean, it's just despicable.
It sure is.
How it's allowed to continue. Republicans, Democrats, doesn't matter. We don't care if they've got Alzheimer's, dementia. We don't care if they're completely debilitated. Maybe they're quadriplegics and they're in a coma. They're still members of Congress. They're wheeled in and somebody pushes the button for them. Unreal. It's got to stop. Maybe this will finally.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a local magazine that, despite all that, made her their Person of the Year. Don't forget.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
good heavens.
And that's my representative.
Oh my
and I'm
gosh.
proud. I think it's pretty cool. I had a dementia.
Yeah,
absent.
that's really cool.
Representative.
Congratulations.
And you know what? Here's the thing. Life went on though for me. Like I didn't need the overbearing Washington D.C. in my life. But,
Really?
It would have been nice in hindsight to have someone up there representing me for 6 months.
Yeah.
And in fact,
might have been nice.
Since that's my district, I think everyone in her district, since we didn't have representation for those 6 months, how about what's that thing? No taxation without representation.
Oh yeah, give me back the taxes.
I'm going to need a rebate
right
for half a year.
You know what? If you wanted to fight that, you could make a case.
Okay, time out. I'm being dead serious
Seriously,
here.
me too.
If there's an attorney who wants to make a class action lawsuit
at least those 6 months or whatever it was.
Because this was deception.
Yes.
Of of an American citizen who I thought for the last half of 2024 I had a congresswoman up there.
Yeah, you've got 600,000 people who should be owed back taxes now for the 6 months she was not there.
Now, I'm only serious about this because that's my district, but also because seriously, who wants to do this pro bono? Come on, attorneys. Send me a message on Twitter at Keith Malinak.
That would be interesting.
I will be your lead plaintiff in this case.
Awesome.
At Keith Malinak, KeithMalinak. I thought the graphic would be up at this point, but anyway, message me because I want this to happen. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm dead serious about this.
There's also, in a bold move, a French politician has called for the return of the Statue of Liberty.
I saw this.
Claiming America no longer embodies its ideals. So they want the Statue of Liberty back. I'll tell you what, Frenchy Frog.
Okay.
Come and take it.
Yep.
Let's see if you can do it. Ugh, these people. We're going to say the Americans who have chosen to side with the tyrants, to the Americans who fired researchers for demanding scientific freedom. What? Give us back the Statue of Liberty, this guy said. Raphael Glucksmann. We gave it to you as a gift, but apparently you despise it. So it will be just fine here at home. No, what we despise are socialist surrender monkeys like you. That's what we despise, not the Statue of Liberty. These people are pathetic. Their hatred for Donald Trump and everything he does is just so out of control that they're just ruining their relationship with the United States of America. Yeah. I don't think you want to do that. I really don't.
We don't have the clip today, but one of the many awesome things that Karoline Leavitt said yesterday, did she say something along the lines of, I read the quote, you'd be speaking German, and you're welcome for World War I and World War II, if not for us.
I love that.
Yeah, you're not getting that statue back. Yeah.
I didn't know she addressed that. That's great.
Just read it. Yeah.
I love that they don't take any garbage from these people.
Let's see.
How fantastic is it to have somebody who actually has America's back now?
Yep.
Who actually puts America first. Yeah. Who doesn't just sit back and take it and, yeah, you're right. We're kind of mean now. Maybe we should give it back to you. All right.
Quote, they should be very grateful they're not speaking German right now.
That is so true. Oh, my
Leavitt.
Gosh, I love that. I love that.
So here's the full quote. My advice to the unnamed low-level French politician, but you have his
name now,
would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now, so they should be very grateful to our great country.
Brilliant! The quintessential answer to such a statement from those boneheaded frogs. That's great. All right. Let me tell you about Kexi. If you want something really delicious in your life, this is it. And right now, we're running a 15% off sale. Okay, this is the last day for St. Patrick's Day. We extended it a day. And so today's the last day of our 15% off sale. Okay, it ends today. Go to Kexi.com, take full advantage of it, get a dozen cookies, 15% off. Whatever you buy, it's 15% off. Fantastic. In addition, we're also doing a special March Madness giveaway. You can now enter your bracket into our group for a chance to win a free box of 12 cookies.
All right.
No purchase necessary to win. All you have to do is go to our website, Kexi.com/March Madness for this. I'm sure there's a place to click when you go to the homepage, but cool. That'll take you directly there. And then you just follow the instructions to enter your bracket for a chance to win. Entries must be submitted before the first games tip off on Thursday.
Okay.
The top 3 winners will be announced a day after the tournament on April 8th, and each will receive a box of 12 cookies. All right? Delicious, the most delicious cookies you'll ever taste. And right now, again, 15% off at Kexi.com. Kexi, Kexi.com.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Absolutely not. And my advice to that unnamed low-level French politician would be to remind them that it's only because of the United States of America that the French are not speaking German right now. So
Yes, Karoline. Thank you. Thank you.
Now that is a press secretary.
Yes! Oh, man. So nice to have curly out of our hair, isn't it? Karoline Leavitt, you rock! That is awesome.
it's been a devastation.
Yeah, right. Also, she took on CNN yesterday, right, on the autopen signature thing, because are those null and void now? All of those pardons that were signed with the autopen are null and void if Biden didn't actually sign them. Here's that little back and forth.
The president was begging the question that I think a lot of journalists in this room should be asking about whether or not the former president of the United States, who I think we can all finally agree was cognitively impaired. I know it took people some time to finally admit that, but we all know that to be true, as evidenced by his disastrous debate performance against President Trump during the campaign. I digress on that. But the president was raising the point that did the president even know about these pardons? Was his illegal signature used without his consent or knowledge? And that's not just the president or me raising those questions, Caitlin. According to the New York Post, there are Biden officials from the previous White House who raised those questions and wondered if the president was even consulted about his legally binding signature being signed onto documents. And so I think it's a question that everybody in this room should be looking into, because certainly that would propose perhaps criminal or illegal behavior if staff members were signing the president of the United States autograph without his consent.
Right. And who's going to know, by the way? How do you prove that? I don't know how you prove that either way, frankly.
That he didn't know?
Yeah. Yeah, because he's not going to admit to that. He's not going to, I didn't.
I've heard he's good under deposition.
No. Yeah, right.
Like Kay Granger good.
Yes. Yeah, like Kay Granger good, I'm sure. So, wasn't there more between Leavitt and Caitlin Collins
they bumped
yesterday?
Heads a couple times.
Yeah, they talked about the judge's verbal order to stop the deportations.
I have a question on the timeline of the flights. You keep talking about the judge's written order, which hit the docket Saturday night at about 7:26 p.m., but he issued a verbal order before that at about 6:45 and 6:48 p.m. based on the court hearing, a verbal order from the bench. Does the White House feel the need to comply with a verbal order from this judge?
Again, as I said, all of the planes subject to the written order of this judge departed U.S. soil, U.S. territory before the judge's written order.
But what about the verbal order, which of course carries the same legal weight as a written order, and said for the planes to turn around if they were
Well,
in the air?
there's actually questions about whether a verbal order carries the same weight as a legal order, as a written order, and our lawyers are determined to ask and answer those questions in court.
Okay. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, Caitlin.
So what would CNN have the United States do?
Shoot down the plane.
Wait, no, hold on. I mean, like now. Like, let's just say right now. Would they fly a plane there and be like, all right, gang members are going back to the United States. Come on, here we go.
I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they wanted. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yes.
Bring them all back. I don't know how many there were, but there were two.
Just two.
Okay. That was a waste of space on that plane then.
No, I read the number and I forgot what it was, but it was substantial.
It was a lot. Yeah, it was. Wasn't it?
Like 2 bus loads.
Yeah, it was quite a few. So bring them back. Bring them back and let them out. Let them roam free in the land of the free, in the home of the brave.
238.
Yeah, I thought it was hundreds. Wow. Also, is CNN mad about the White House remodel?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Cut 23.
Oh.
So you already know that President Trump is working to dramatically reshape the federal government.
What is
but he's
this?
also looking to transform another historic aspect of the presidency, and that is the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Since President Trump moved in nearly 8 weeks ago, he has more than tripled the number of paintings that you see hanging on the walls of the Oval Office.
Okay.
A lot of them
All
are
right.
former presidents who once occupied that space.
Uh-huh.
And I'm told Trump had his eye on some of them. He knew which ones he'd like to see hanging in the walls of the
Okay.
Oval, as every
And?
president has the chance to redecorate
His
when they
prerogative.
move in.
Here
But
comes the
several
carpet.
others, he actually flipped through a catalog and looked through a national collection to see which ones he'd like to see hanging on
that's
the
cool.
walls.
And?
There's so many that there's almost not really any wall space left when you're inside the Oval.
So
But
what?
the president hasn't stopped there. Also in keeping with a style that he has adhered to for decades, there's a lot more gold inside the Oval
Yeah.
Office.
Okay,
If you
I
look
share
above
this
the
with her.
mantle, there are
I do
several
share
golden
this.
figurines lined across it. And
Yeah.
often when the
Too much
president is
gold.
greeting a
Yeah.
world leader, sitting in those 2 chairs before the fireplace, you can see the golden medallions that are
gaudy.
now in
Yes.
front of it.
Yes, it is.
And if you look over to the tables, the sign tables, you can see golden figurines of eagles
Okay.
placed there.
I'm with you on
If
this,
you look
Caitlin.
closely above the doors, the president
Okay.
actually had these golden
Uh-oh.
cherubs shipped in from his Mar-a-Lago club in South Florida and is
How
placed
dare
those
he
there as
ship
well.
them in from Mar-a-Lago?
Now, I've been inside the Oval several times. It
Okay.
definitely still has that historic look to it that you've
Okay.
known for decades.
Oh, good.
But
You're
it certainly
pissed.
has much more of
But
the
you're
Trump
pissed.
stamp on it these days. I'm also told he's not stopping there. When you look outside the windows of the Oval Office to the Rose Garden,
it's a gold garden.
Work is expected to start any day there now
weird.
on Trump's effort to try to reshape it by essentially paving over the Rose Garden, that grassy area that you see where presidents hold ceremonies or press conferences.
What are we going to
And
do?
he wants to make it more of a patio style and put pavers down and have it look essentially like where he holds court often.
Maybe put in a barbecue, maybe an outdoor kitchen.
Allies.
Oh, yeah.
He's personally reviewed those blueprints and even met with the curators
could come over
as he
and grill
seeks to
for
put
him.
his stamp not just on the Oval Office, but really the entire West Wing in general.
That's none of your business.
Are we supposed to be outraged by this?
Yeah, we are. I guess we are.
Yes, we are.
By her handheld announcement.
Yes. I'm over that.
What is that new phenomenon where
pissing
everybody
me off.
holds the microphone in front of them?
It's irrationally pissing me off.
Me too.
It's weird.
It's asinine
And,
that everybody's doing it now. Why? Why?
And Trump added something new to the White House. He added
the cherubs.
No, there's something. Go ahead and put the picture up.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to be pissed.
The Constitution now is inside the Oval Office.
How dare he put that up?
That thing is old. That's from the 1700s.
You know how old that is? Real old. Okay? You know who the people are who wrote that thing?
Slave owners, I heard.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of gold. Look at the gold, even the gold drapes and curtains.
Those have been there since 2016, and Biden kept them.
Oh,
did he do that or Obama?
Really? The gold drapes were there already?
Gold drapes. The gold drapes were there since 2016. Trump, changed them.
Okay.
Biden ignored them, and now I guess they're still there.
Oh, he put them in, and then Biden left them.
Biden left them up.
Okay.
So
he's just added to the gold motif.
Yes.
I mean, he's the resident now. I don't like it. It's not my style, but he doesn't care.
Yeah. No. We're not president. Honestly, if I were president, I mean, the Oval Office would be unintentionally trashed out. I'd have like papers and stuff hanging on the wall. I'm busy. I got a lot of stuff to remember, all right? Give
Underwear on the couch.
Post-it notes. Wait a minute. No, that's if Hunter Biden was president.
Oh, okay.
Which he was for a time, but I digress.
Yes, no kidding.
Between him and the autopen.
Oh, did you also see that he removed the Secret Service?
Sure did.
From the two children, from Hunter and Ashley. Not sure how I feel about that.
They're in South Africa.
Yeah, they're
right
going
now.
to hang out and vacations and stuff.
And I thought he was so broke. Wasn't he supposed to be? Hunter was supposed to be absolutely tapped out.
That's the thing about Hunter Biden. Based on the amount of money he collected on his bullcrap paintings and his Burisma salary.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he can afford his own security. In fact, the entire Biden crime family has made enough money illegally that they can afford their own security at this point.
No, you're right.
Bastards.
Absolutely right. All right.
I'm laughing too. Oh, no. Tell everyone what just happened.
Sorry, we just got Fox and Friends showing something from 2013 where this little guy who shoots baskets.
Poor fella.
Has a little basketball. Brian throws it to him. It hits him in the face. Just to make him cry.
I mean,
he's like 2, probably.
Oh, what are you doing, Brian? Just chunk. Right in the nose.
Fortunately, the dad was there.
Yeah. Go to your corner, kill me. That was assault.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Hey, you know what? I told you off air of this Bill Murray video. And I didn't realize it was on a podcast. It was a quote that I was reading, and this stumbled in my feed. I know you're going to love this fun fact from Groundhog Day.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
All right.
Were you actually bitten twice by a groundhog during shooting of that film and had to get a rabies shot?
I'm not flipping you off, but that right there, that nodule there, that's from the groundhog.
I wasn't sure if that was something they were just throwing in to spice up the tour.
No, that's real. He got me back-to-back 2 days in a row. And the second day, I was cheating, or I thought I was being smart. And I put some fisherman's gloves, like steel gloves on, underneath the gloves I was wearing. His teeth went right through the steel.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No way.
They're about that long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got upset with the animal wrangler. I said, who the hell trained this gopher? Self-righteous actor stuff. Who in the hell trained this gopher? With real rage, I am not leaving my trailer. And so the two of them, they were like a guy and gal couple, and they look at each other with this. I said, what? Well, he's wild. Wild? What do you mean he's wild? Well, we caught him just over that way, over there by that field. We caught him there like 2 weeks ago. So I was driving the car with this, letting the animal drive.
Letting the animal drive. Told him, don't drive angry.
So
don't drive angry.
You know, you get what you pay for.
It's a great story.
It's so good.
So he really was bitten twice by the groundhog during the filming. That's cool. Probably wasn't cool at the time. It's cool now.
He never addressed the opening question. Did you have to get a rabies shot?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, maybe it's in a longer version of that, but that's bad. That's like butt stuff, right? Right?
The rabies shot?
Yeah.
No, it's in the stomach.
It's in the stomach.
Oh, it's stomach? Oh, my bad.
I think 10 days. You get injected in the stomach.
What shot is it in the butt? Like what disease?
B12?
B12,
No.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of things you can get shot in the butt for.
There's stuff for like syphilis that goes in the butt.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll ask Jeffy tomorrow. He's had every kind of remedy injected into him.
There's the expert. Check with him tomorrow and chew the fat with him as well.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.